This is the Varese, brand new experimental Tier 10 ship, Italian heavy cruiser, year of design 1934, obviously a paper ship, with looking at this description. Reimagined 1935 Italian medium displacement battleship concept, presented as a large cruiser or cruiser killer. One sketch from these studies featured an unusual layout with 8 320mm guns in 2 quadruple turrets placed amidships, while the secondary battery mounts were relocated to the fore and aft end of the ship. So this is the Varese. Now, before we look at all the incredible stuff, armor model, 27mm plating fore and aft. The deck plating 40mm, upper casemate armor is 40, middle section of casemate 100, and the main belt armor is 200mm. Two main turrets here centrally mounted either side of the main funnel. We look at the internal armor and see this is the Citadel. It actually runs from the secondary battery turrets. I thought initially it would have been just including this midsection, but it actually runs from the secondary battery. So we'll get that off. Survivability, 112k, which is monstrous for a cruiser. Torpedo protection damage reduction of 22%. This is massively reinforced by having 4 of these monster heals. Each one of these heals can almost repair 50k. Almost 50k. I think it's 48.5k to be exact. But just a shade under 50,000 hit points. Which is borderline absurd in my book. So hydroacoustic search. Choice between FAA and hydro, and it's 3.5 and 5 kilometers respectively. So the main battery guns, 2 quadruple mounted turrets, 320mm gun caliber, both centrally mounted, 26.4 second reload. They can rotate 180 degrees in 30 seconds. Max dispersion of 227 and a max firing range of 18.4 kilometers. But this also can be adjusted because it has access to burst fire and modified shells. So once you activate this, main battery speed or reload time is 44 seconds. Max dispersion is reduced by 55 meters to 172, and the max firing range is then dropped down to 12.5 kilometers. And you can see the armor piercing is also improved. Get 1400 extra damage per shell. So you can see funny button, burst fire, and modified shells incorporated. Now, she does fire semi-armor piercing and armor piercing. The armor piercing, funnily enough, is very low damage compared to the semi-armor piercing. The max damage on the sap guns is 10,250. They can pen 82mm of armor, and they have a shell speed of 830 meters per second. So, very dangerous sap with very good penetration. and the AP is 8300 and the same shell speed of 830 meters per second. But again, with the modified shells, you can actually improve the AP. So close range, if you have broadside targets, for example, get faster shell speed and more damage on the AP. So secondary battery, these are also semi-armor piercing. 10 of these twin mounted 90mm, mounted primarily here on the deck. 5 turrets on each side. So 20 of these 90mm guns. These have a 4.1 second reload, 9.2 kilometer range, 1900 sap damage. They can pen 26mm with a shell speed of 800 per second. Also, these big boys, 3 quad mounted 152mm, also firing sap, 9.5 second reload. These can pen battleship armor, 3650 max damage. They can pen 42mm of armor and have a fast shell speed of 950 meters per second. So, very dangerous secondaries. Also gets torps, 2 triple mounted torpedo tubes, 1 on each side. Max damage of 20,400. So these torps hit reasonably hard. That's an 60k alpha strike per torpedo tube. 8 kilometers in range and a reload time of 120 seconds. No smoke screen. No. You get damage control party, this monster repair team, and a choice between FAA and Hydro. No smokes. No smokes. So moving quickly to, we just covered torpedoes, airstrike. As you can see, 8 kilometer range, 2 available flights, 1 aircraft per attack flight, dropping 2 bombs with a max damage of 4900. So 8 kilometer range on the AA defense rating of 74. 8 of the sextuple 20mm guns here on the infrastructure. So 48 of these 20mm guns, 12 twin mounted 37mm, 24 of these guns in total. They're mounted primarily on the turrets and the deck itself. These secondary battery are dual purpose, the 90mm ones. Yes, 20 of these in total, all dual purpose. Combined, they pump out an average continuous damage of 355. Primarily mid-range. The majority of mid-range damage. 8 black explosions, each capable of a max damage of 1330, and the max firing range on these 4.6. But in any case, we'll just quickly look at the rest of Varese. So in terms of maneuverability, let me just remove the flag to get the base speed. Base speed 33.0, 33 knots. With the speed flag 34.7. Turning circle radius of 830 meters. With a rudder shift time of 11.5 seconds. I will say it does look like a nice ship, but how it's laid out, some of its numbers, little bit nuts. Finally, when it comes to the ship stats, concealment of 11 kilometers. So not exactly stealthy either, but it's quite a big ship, so hardly surprising. 11 kilometers, you'll be detected by submarines and aircraft at 8.8 kilometers. So, there she is, in all her glory, the Varese. And this is what you'll be seeing. You'll be encountering this ship on a regular basis, because it is now available for testing on the live server. So, don't be surprised to be running into this thing. 112,000 hit points with 4 monster heals.